we always want to give you a template for whatever our partner does. We have at least one answer for it. And so when we're trying to pass the guard, our partner can either have their hips in front of us, or they can move their hips one way, or they can move the hips the other way. So if we have the hips right in front of us, we can go for the double under stack pass very easily. If they move the hips the way that most people do, away from you, then the knee cut pass or the single under pass is an option. But sometimes they're going to move their hips a different way. And at that point, we do what's called a knee drive pass. And so if Ilias has the guard, maybe I've opened the guard, right? So if I go for my double under pass, like again, if he has his hips in front of me like this, we can just double under. Often he's going to move his hips out. If he moves his hips that way, I can't knee cut anymore, right? Because I'd be driving across his body, which isn't going to work. I could switch off to the single under stack pass and go the other way, but it's not really what's most efficient. What's most efficient, because he moved his hips away from my knee that's up in the combat base, is for me to put that knee on the mat and put my instep on the inside of his knee pit. And as we do that, you see how my shoulder automatically goes under his knee. And so instead of pinning his leg with our hand, as we do in the single under stack pass, we pin it with our knee. So our knee is on the mat, our toes are active, meaning the balls of my feet and my toes are on the mat so I can press forward. And Ilias is getting a nice stretch from this. So again, if you try and move around a little bit, it's really difficult. He's really stuck. All I did was put my knees on the mat and put my shoulder under his knee pit. If it's just your arm under the knee pit, it's not going to work. We have to get the shoulder under there. So there are two different ways there are many different ways we can finish. But the one that I'm going to show today, which is the most fundamental one, is we reach to control his head or his collar. Head is better because it works both gi and no gi. And we take a little back step with our inside leg, in this case our left leg. So we back step out of his guard. At this point, that left leg's knee comes right by his hip, and we pass to the side control. It's also okay, you notice I'm passing what we call head and arm control, head here, arm here. It's also okay to put your hand back here. The most important thing that we want to do when we pass the guard initially is make sure that near hip is blocked, either with my knee or with my hand, because if I don't block it with either, Ilias is going to bridge into me, shrimp away, recreate space, and now I got to pass the guard again. And now I'm back in this dangerous guard, because Ilias can now attack me with his legs and all sorts of stuff. I don't want that, especially when I do a good thing, and it's hard to pass the guard with someone who knows what they're doing. We want to solidify that work, so make sure that you block the hip. Either your knee is against this hip or your hand is against this hip. So let's do this one more time, and I'll show one slight alternate way to finish it. So I'm here in combat base. My partner moves their legs away from my knee that's up. As you can see, I can't really do the cross knee pass. I would have to switch my knee that's up. So instead, I just drop my knee down. And now, put my knee on the mat, put my toes on the mat. Control the head, control the collar, whatever I can get. And now, I could back step, but a lot of times you can just take your knee and do a knee cut pass. Most important thing, remember, is just to block the hip. So if we have the hip blocked with our knee, have the hip blocked with our hand, that's when we get the knee drive pass. You've also heard this, you will also hear this called the smash pass, for reasons that Ilias can attest to. There are lots of different ways to finish it, and what's beautiful about jiu-jitsu is what we've just shown you is the bare bones fundamentals of the way to pass this guard. As you advance in your jiu-jitsu, you'll see a lot of different options at each stage, either to control the head, either to control the collar, or to not control either and pass in a totally different way. So that's really fun. I look forward to being on that journey with you in the future.